Hi guys, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cardi B and Queen B gotta come to the front of the congregation. The hotties and Megan Thee Stallion are not happy with the lack of support that Megan is getting in regards to touring. Okay? Now, fans are coming out in disbelief, upset, because they feel as though a lot of female rappers and female artists in general are not backing Megan Thee Stallion like the male artists and Tory Lanez male peers are. Okay? Now, a fan said, I can't lie, there's a lot of girls I'm disappointed in for not speaking up for Megan. You love her so much, collab and perform with her, but can't even put a story out to support Megan? Another fan says, so when are these women going to speak up for Megan as she is publicly being taunted by her abuser again? Y'all turned up with her, joined her on stage at Coachella, Queen Latifah, okay, Sierra. But when it really matters, ... Now, fans are also calling out Queen B, saying Queen B brought out Megan Thee Stallion on the Renaissance World Tour. Queen B also collaborated with Megan, and Megan helped get Queen B 3 Grammys for Savage. You know, they won 3 Grammys for the Savage remix. And Queen B is also silent. We're not talking about Lil' Kim. We're talking about Queen Beyonce. Okay? Cardi B has also been silent. Scratch Off been silent. Flo Milli been silent. Where are the girls to support Megan like Tory Lanez friends are supporting him? Tory Lanez has Champagne Thickums. He got, what's his name? Kodak Trash and Ty Dolla $ign, Joe Budden, a bunch of people, even Just Hilarious on The Breakfast Club, and other women in general are backing Tory, but not Megan Thee Stallion. Well, here's the reason why. Because a lot of people in the industry don't believe Megan, okay? And it's really no shade. But if people are not speaking out for Megan, that probably means they don't believe her. Okay, let's be very clear. It just looks suspicious considering that, his, DNA wasn't even on the gun. So it's like we need more evidence to really prove that Tory Lanez was the shooter. It really points to Kelsey. Kelsey had the most motive. Out of everybody, Kelsey had the most motive. Tory Lanez didn't really have a motive to shoot Megan just because he was sleeping with her and he got caught. Doesn't make any sense. Kelsey and Megan were fighting before the gun went off. That was revealed in court. So, Kelsey needs to come clean. Let's just be honest. I know she don't want to because she got a baby, but she needs to come clean, and maybe with her immunity that she got, remember she got immunity, she won't get any jail time. Maybe they'll let her confess and be like, okay, you can do community service. Okay, because even though Megan was shot, it's not like she died. So maybe Kelsey won't get, extreme jail time. Maybe she'll get like 2 to 3 years. I think she should do the same time Tory Lanez has done in jail. So Tory Lanez been in jail for 3 years. I think Kelsey should be in jail for 3. No shade. I think it's only a fair swap. Now, unfortunately, things are getting worse for Megan. Congresswoman Rep. Anna Paulina Luna said that Tory Lanez has filed a direct appeal, a habeas petition, and successive habeas, all now consolidated by the California Court of Appeals. They have seated a panel. Oral arguments are coming. This case is far from over. Due process matters. Then she also tweeted, Tory's conviction and sentencing raised major constitutional concerns. First Amendment, use of lyrics as evidence. Sixth Amendment, right to confrontation. 14th Amendment, equal protection under racially biased enhancements. These issues demand urgent review. Wow, wow, wow. Now, I suggest Devil Nation make Kelsey confess to the crime and, she do the same jail time as Tory did. Okay, that's only fair. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like there's a lot of doubters. There wasn't enough evidence to really pinpoint Tory as the shooter. And I know Megan is worried, but even if she did lie, I'm sure Shea Butter Twitter is gearing up to forgive her anyway. It don't matter if she lied or not. I'm sure Kool-Aid Twitter is going to be forgiving Megan Thee Stallion no matter what, because she got the sympathy train behind her. And a lot of people don't like to hold women accountable for their wrongdoings. You know, Meg and Cardi B, they get away with a lot. So I'm sure Hair Grease Twitter will be forgiving Megan Thee Stallion in no time, even if it's proven that she lied. Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Doja Cat got 2 pop collaborations allegedly in a stash that she could possibly have as a remix for the upcoming album. And also her Paolify deal has been renewed. Okay? Yes, Doja Cat has a Paolify deal, which means that she will be getting extra payola for her Paolify streams. That's why she has dethroned Doechii on the Paolify charts as of recently, because that Paolify deal has gotten renewed. And I'll be honest with you, I can see Doja Cat, when she come back and start dropping music, I can see her and Doechii throwing subliminal shots at each other, because allegedly Doja Cat feels behind the scene that Doechii has basically taken her sound. And if you listen to Anxiety, that's a Doja Cat-esque type of record. Okay? I could hear Doja Cat on that record. So, allegedly, Doja Cat, despite what she said on social media and how much she loved Doechii and Doechii is here to stay. Remember, she was lying and saying, oh, Doechii is here to stay. Doechii ain't gonna be here in 10 years. Let's be very clear. I like Doechii. She's very talented, but I don't think she's going to have a 10-plus year run like Onika Tanya Mirage. Okay? I don't even think she's going to outlast Doja Cat, really. Eventually, I think they'll find a new dark-skinned female rapper to push, and they'll rotate. But with that being said, I definitely feel like in the future, when Doja Cat start dropping music, her and Doechii going to be beefing. Now, moving on to J-Hope and Doechii. It looks like Doechii might get another Korean collab, okay? Didn't she collaborate with Jennie? That song flopped. But J-Hope tells Billboard that he's been inspired by Doechii and Xïrëdd. AK, he wants a collaboration because he wants to pander to the black people. That's what it's given, okay? They always do that. I notice a lot of Korean artists, they gotta pander to the black community by working with a lot of black artists. J-Hope, BTS has done it. Is J-Hope in BTS? Either way, don't matter. With that being said, Jennie, Lisa have done it. Okay. What's the other girl that everybody thinks is an industry plant? What's her name? Oh, I forgot. Rose. Her too. So this is really, not really new in Korean culture. They always use the black community. Now, moving on from that, it looks like Scratch Off is not happy with Xïrëdd and Pluto, because they have video for the Whammy remix, and Scratch Off recently previewed her verse for that remix, but unfortunately it looks like she's not going to be on it.
Bitch, my tail ain't never tucked. Y'all don't mean Miss Georgia Peach, but apple bottoms on his butt. And it's sitting. Big mama, bitch, like what the fuck? Is you cool? Hookah in a section, major, give it up. Y'all tripping. Hold up, I'm with them YBs. Why can't these stand my twin, not the Siamese? I'm with Pluto, but I buy my own AP.
Yeah, so those bars were trash anyway. Tomato, tomato, tomato. With that being said, Scratch Off's not happy about this because she already did her verse, even though nobody asked her to do a verse. They asked Xïrëdd, that's why they're filming a music video. But, Scratch Off is thirsty for a hit because her current song, Nobody, is flopping on the charts and nobody's listening to it. So that's why she is scrambling and begging for collaborations. Unfortunately, scratch off, your career's over. You might as well become 21 Below Average's baby mama and call it a day. You might as well. Y'all been secretly dating for years. And at the end of the day, he's never going to publicly claim you. But I'm sure he'll give you some child support money so you can make ends meet. Okay? So, scratch off. Please sit the fuck down. Now, moving on to Doodle Garbage and Holly Bailey. It has been reported that due to Holly Bailey's temporary restraining order put on Doodle Garbage, he will no longer be allowed to legally have a gun and defend himself. Okay, that sounds good to me. Doodle Garbage, who lives in LA, where home invasions and chain snatching robbers happen frequently, will be defenseless and unable to protect himself. Oh my goodness. Well, here's the thing. Since Doodle Garbage makes so much money, like he claims, on streaming, on Twitch, he claims he makes so much money. Wasn't he calling Soulja Boy broke? Why don't you just hire security? I don't get it. If you got so much money and you big ballin', you don't need no gun. You don't need to defend yourself. You have people defend you, okay, and protect you. Now it is stated that Holly has now left Halo's father defenseless and put a target on his back. If someone ran up on Doodle Garbage and robbed him while he was with Halo, it would be her fault. Well, he won't be with Halo because he don't have custody. He won't be with Halo no time soon because he don't even have custody of Halo. So he don't got nothing to worry about. He only got to defend himself. Because don't worry about defending Halo. You won't be seeing him for a while. No shade. I'm just speaking facts. But the point of the matter is now he cannot legally carry anything because of the restraining order, which I think it makes sense. You know, I feel like Doodle Garbage, he might be trying to pull a bullet through Holly. Low key, I know he's pissed. He can pretend like he's not pissed on social media, but he's a Libra, okay? He is pissed about this situation. He's putting on a brave face in the public, but I'm sure he really wants to strangle Haley or Holly, whatever her name is, okay? If putting bruises on her arm didn't work, I know he wants to strangle the fuck out of her because he allegedly has lost brand deals. He's lost business opportunities because of this. He said this out of his own mouth. And then on top of that, you know, now this has overshadowed his album. So I know he's pissed at her regardless. It might be better if you don't have a gun. Okay? She might get pow pow next. Now, moving on from that, the king of rap and the princess of R&B have grossed $100 million so far in revenue for their tour in only 10 shows. They've grossed $112 million in total, according to touring data. Okay? Now, I'll be honest with you. I went to see Kung Fu Kenny a few weeks ago. Or was it a few weeks ago? I don't remember. I went to see Kung Fu Kenny. The tea is on Patreon. But the point of the matter is, the show was amazing. It was packed, but the show was amazing. Kung Fu Kenny killed it. Okay? He's one of the best rap performers ever. In history of any rap performer, he's number one. Okay? Because I saw last year Metro and Future, and Metro and Future was nowhere near as good as Kung Fu Kenny. SZA, she was, SZA, so I won't say too much on that. But Kung Fu Kenny ate it up, okay? So we gotta give Kung Fu Kenny his 10s. He really has been dominating, and it seems as though, everybody wants a piece of Kung Fu Kenny. Everybody wants to beef with Kung Fu Kenny. Everybody wants to get his attention. Everybody wants to work with Kung Fu Kenny because he's that guy right now. Now, Justin Crackhead Bieber's receiving 350,000 lashes. Now, Haley was on the cover of Vogue. I thought this was AI. I didn't think the cover was that great, but that's just my opinion. And he gave a little speech about basically him sunning Haley, and he completely humiliates her. He said, yo, this reminds me when Haley and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. He continued and said, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. He said, I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So, baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't be on Vogue cover, because I clearly was sadly mistaken. Well, here's the thing. Justin was partially right. She's only on Vogue because of you. Let's be very clear. If Haley was not married to Justin Bieber, nobody would be talking about her. We do not care about Haley Baldwin unless she's mentioned with Justin or the Kardashians. Let's be very clear. But I feel like he does things and says things publicly to humiliate Haley, and he doesn't like that girl. I don't care what the Beliebers say. Do we got the Beliebers in the building? Probably not. They don't exist anymore. But with that being said, I think everybody could attest to the fact that Justin does not really like Haley. A person that likes you is not going to publicly embarrass you time and time again. And he has done that. He has publicly for years embarrassed Haley. Haunting his ex, okay, which subliminally means he secretly wants her, which he's done this year, okay? You know, throwing shade at Selena Gomez. Always in a public looking disinterested or not even wanted to be around Haley. That's also a red flag. And then publicly admitting that you told this girl who always dreamt about probably being on Vogue that she would never be on it. I mean, and you would just admit that publicly. He don't want Haley. He's purposely humiliating her and hoping that she files for divorce. Okay? Somebody that loves you and likes you is not going to always publicly showcase their disdain or talk about fights and whatnot in the public. Okay? That should have been private. He could have just said, oh, my baby looks so good. And then he tried to change the caption like, no, nigga. You can't do that. Okay? So 350,000 lashes for Justin Crackhead Bieber, and Haley will be probably divorcing him pretty soon. Okay? Because I just don't believe that they're in a really healthy marriage. I'm sorry. Now, Joey Dumbass is still trying to beef with the whole West Coast. Unfortunately, I don't think many people care about him trying to go after Kung Fu Kenny, but he's still sending shots his way. He said, I was at the Diddy party, but I also seen Dot there. That was corny, okay? First of all, that just means that it was an industry party which everybody goes to. You probably seen Rihanna there, probably couldn't talk to her. You probably seen Beyonce there. She didn't want to speak to you either. You probably seen Camel Face and the Chart Obsessed Racists. Everybody has party with Diddy. I don't understand. I mean, you didn't see him getting his back blown out. I know that for a fact. Okay? I know you didn't see that because he ain't Meek Mill. Okay? Because if you were seeing that, you would have to throw your real friends, the people that you really fuck with, your peers under the bus. Okay? Playboy Bottom Bussy. Meek Mill. I don't know if Meek Mill is his peer, but I feel like he been out the same time as Meek. Okay? But the point of the matter is, your peers have gotten their backbones out by executives. Okay? You cannot say you seen Kendrick messing with Diddy ever. And you know that. That's why you had to say you seen him at the party. You've seen a lot of celebrities at the party. I don't get that. ASAP, the colorist, everybody has party with Diddy. What does that mean? And then he kind of subliminally did Champagne Thickums. He was like, who's the best MCs? Kenny, Joey, and Cole, the Holy Trinity. No, bitch, you're not on their level. You're not even better than Champagne Thickums. I don't understand where Joey's getting this confidence, but even lyrically, you're not better than Champagne Thickums. I don't understand how you can take him out of the big three. Who made you the spokesperson of the big three? Okay? You're a washed up underground rapper from New York that got a bitch from Empire pregnant. Stop! Stop. You are a wannabe ASAP Rocky. Stop. You don't get to decide who's in the big three. But it's not you, bitch. To be in the big three, you actually have to sell. That's one of the stipulations to be in the big three. You don't. Okay? So if anybody would be in the big three, it would have to be Travis. If Champagne Thickums is getting replaced, it would have to be Travis or Future. Okay? Or Nicki Minaj. You don't sell, so you can't put yourself in the big three. Sit down. Joey Dumbass is receiving 50,000 lashes. I don't understand his delusion, and I feel like he clout chasing. You know damn well Kendrick does not give a fuck about you. Why do you keep antagonizing this man? I don't get it. And then when he goes below the belt, bitches want to sue. When he goes below the belt, people always want to sue. Shut up! But anyway, I got some very hot exclusive tea on Patreon about Universal getting sued by the iconic group Salt and Pepper. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.